Good evening everyone, StreamX17 here with you with another Draconius Go video for you tonight, guys. Tonight I've just been searching the internet tonight, just have a look, see if there's any updates or anything going on in the news about Draconius Go, anything whatsoever. And I've managed to find this article on Game Rant. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys so you can have a check of it fully. I'm just going to do this battle because this is... Oh, my one just ran away, that's a bit rude. But still, other than that, I thought I'd just have a look in here for you guys, and I found this article quite interesting. Now, if you're a fan like me, I'm a big fan of Pokemon Go, and obviously the creators of this game got the ideas from Pokemon Go. They didn't necessarily copy every aspect of the game, but they did, copy quite a bit of the game. And they had to change it in their way so it wasn't identical to Pokemon Go. But still, I found this article quite interesting. So let's just have a quick brief look. 5 things Draconius Go does better than Pokemon Go. Before I start any of this, guys, I'm not slating Pokemon Go. I love Pokemon Go. It's a massive part of my life at the moment, playing that game. And I grew up in Pokemon, so you cannot hate Pokemon. So before that, no haters. I do love Pokemon Go still. This is just an article. So there we go. But still, 5 things Draconius Go does better than Pokemon Go. Okay, this is just their opinion. Okay, but still, let's have a look. Considering the massive success of Pokemon Go, it's not surprising that other developers have attempted to emulate it. There we go, couldn't get that one out. While there are still numerous Pokemon Go clones out in the wild, most prominent is Draconius Go, a very similar game that has players collecting different species of dragons using Pokeball-like object called spheres. Okay. Pokemon Go developer Niantic has accused Draconius Go of being a complete rip-off of its game, to the point that it's filed a legal complaint against developer Ayland. While Draconius Go is clearly inspired by Pokemon Go, there are some key differences between the two games. In some ways, Draconius Go is arguably even better than Pokemon Go, which these 5 differences being the most significant. Okay, right, it's a bit strong there, isn't it? More content for rural areas. See, that I am going to agree with to a certain extent, okay? But still, I do believe, obviously the update now, I don't know if it's changed completely, still do believe that some things are still hard to get, like literally like portals and some obliques are just hard to get to. So in a way it is, you get more creatures around the area, you get more, pillars around the area, like Pokestops around the areas, but still it is a lot better for rural than Pokemon. I will agree with that, to be honest. A common complaint lobbied against Pokemon Go since its inception has been poor support to players in rural areas. There you go, I've just said that. In fact, some players may be completely out of luck when it comes to enjoying the game, to live in a country or smaller town. Completely agree, that is perfect perfect example there. With these addition of raids, often require a large group of players, Pokemon Go has continued to alienate fans in rural areas, despite Niantic's insistence it will improve the game for them. See, for me as well, the younger people that play the game, they can't exactly come home from school and go, "Mom, I need to go and do a raid tonight." You just say no, wouldn't you? You would just say no. Honestly, driving your child to a random field or a random car park or a random town, "Mom, I need to go and do a Mewtwo raid." She's not going to do it. You can't do it. You can't always lie. I think it should be more accessible for younger children as well as the older, adults such as myself to play the game. Even me at work, I do struggle. I will get a Mewtwo raid pass one day, and it will be when I'm at work. And I'll have to drive to a random town. I'll probably be in a different country where I've done another raid, but you never know. They need to make it more accessible for players. I know it's all about bringing players together, but I do agree. So, if, for instance, there's only 2 of you doing like a raid, that should make it like a lower CP legendary, so 2 of you could still do it. Maybe put that one out there. I don't leave a comment below in the section below, guys, if you do agree with that and you do agree with what I'm trying to say, which I think would be a better experience for people to play the game. Pokemon Go might not provide the best experience for raw players, but Draconius Go goes out its way to make the game for all players, which is very true. Draconius Go versions of Pokestops, I've just been for that, like Pillars of Abundance and Islands game, appear every 200 meters, so players can collect plenty of items. I do agree with that, you get more items from these than Pokestops. That's perfect reward there. More rewarding Pokestops, here we go, as I just stated again. Speaking of the Pillars of Abundance, Draconius Go players tend to get more rewards compared to Pokemon Go's Pokestops. Players will find themselves showered in spheres and other helpful items, and also you can attach enchantments to them, so you just get spheres and eggs like that. So it's pretty good. That's another thing they have got over Pokemon Go. Niantic has recently made numerous changes to Pokestops to make them less appealing, as now they've got a few rewards and far less likely to drop certain items, which, for example, like metal coats, it took me absolutely ages to get those items. Honestly, I kept getting a disc every week for Porygons. I kept getting Porygons and Dubious discs, and I literally upgrades. There we go, upgrades. I had about 15,000 upgrades, about 15,000 Porygons. But still, that's a perfect example there. While Niantic has offered a perfect explanation to why to decide this, it seems likely that recent Pokestop changes are an attempt to convince all players to purchase the games. in-games microtransactions. There you go. So it's making people having to pay things in the game where some kids might not want to spend money and parents might not want to spend money on the game. So I do completely agree there. They've made it harder for you to get the items, so you have to spend money on the game. Perfect. PvP pals, that is a massive thing for players on Draconius Go. For instance, they want to play... Pokemon is all about battling, trading, and breeding. Still, they have not brought one of the main aspects into the game where Draconius Go dropped it from day one. So that literally got people going, oh, I need to get PvP on the game. If you had Pokemon, if you had your best friend around, you want to battle your Tyranitar versus, you know, for instance, Dragonite, wouldn't you? You want to do that. You want to show off your best Pokemon, not just in raids. You want to show it against each other. So I completely agree there. Pokemon Go players have been waiting for a number of features to make their way to the game. Pokemon trading and PvP battles. There you go, I've just said it. Topping the list for many fans well over a year. Pokemon Go's launch and fans are still waiting for both of those often requested features. I can't imagine how many emails and complaints they've had about that whatsoever. It must be crazy for them. So that's obviously brought a lot of players from Pokemon to Draconius Go until the update comes out for Pokemon. So obviously when Pokemon drop it, Draconius Go will probably drop a massive amount because obviously Pokemon then will be a fan favourite and people want to go back to that. But still, until then, Draconius Go will always have that over Pokemon. I will completely agree there, guys. No worries. Quests. They have quests. See, Pokemon don't have quests. While Pokemon Go is plenty of fun, it's developed a very large community of dedicated players. There really isn't at all much to do in the game besides hatch eggs and catch Pokemon. Completely agree. As for reason, the Halloween event, they obviously brought out 3 or 4 new Pokemon. It got boring after literally 2 days. That was it, 2 days. And then they brought out the shinies. But still, once you got that shiny, you don't want to go walking around in the winter with these shiny, shiny Duskulls and things like that because it's just not... It gets boring after a while. It does get boring, but at least Draconius Go attempts to give players more objectives to complete, specifically by adding quests. While these quests are rarely extravagant or complex, they do provide some interesting objectives besides Pokemon Go's static daily quests of hitting the Pokestops and catching Pokemon. Completely agree there, completely agree. Random events, okay? Another way Draconius Go manages to keep things a little more interesting is in its minute-to-minute gameplay is through random events. As players are out catching monsters, completing quests, they'll sometimes randomly be attacked by enemies, which is fantastic, which just happened to me then. Just sitting here, randomly attacked. Players can choose to fight these enemies or run, but successfully defeating the monsters will give players extra rewards, which I think, personally, my opinion is, once you've battled them, I think you should get the chance to catch those. That's one thing I think they should add to that game, where if you randomly attacked, you get the option to then catch that creature. I think that'd be a fantastic addition, but still, that's just my opinion. Since this Pokemon franchise revolves around random battles to begin with, it is odd that Pokemon Go has yet to feature random events itself. I completely, 100% agree. Another way Draconius Go manages to keep things a little more interesting is its minute-to-minute gameplay. I've just read that one. Let's go further down. While these are some ways Draconius Go is arguably better than Pokemon Go, there's no denying Niantic's game has the advantage in other areas. Perhaps the biggest way the Pokemon Go has a leg over its competition is an exclusion of recognisable and popular monsters of decades of history, whereas Draconius Go roster consists of entirely new creatures. Maybe if Draconius Go becomes popular enough, though, we will have another monster collecting mega franchise on our hands. For instance, they could bring out trading card games, even computer games, even like PlayStation games, blah, blah, blah. You never know what they could do. But at the end of the day, after all of those 5 reasons, people will always go back to Pokemon and always relate to Pokemon because we grew up on it. No matter what you say, it will always be there and it will always be a big part of people's lives. And obviously people will know the creatures. You all chose that Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur. You didn't choose a Potty. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But still, it's a massive part of my life and I'll always go back to Pokemon Go. I'll play both games. I am not fussed whatsoever. As long as I'm having fun with friends and meeting new people and going out and catching new creatures and Pokemon. That's all we want, guys. For still, that is it for tonight, guys. I thought I'd just show you that quick, 10 minutes, but quick article on there. I will leave a link in the description below if you want to have another good read of it. If you guys have any comments or any feedback at all, leave me a comment below and I'll try and get back to you as quick as I can. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you give me a big thumbs up and subscribe. Other than that, guys, have a nice evening and I'll see you guys later. Good night.